Today, I am working at the Central Florida Zoo and Botanical Gardens in Sanford. This has been a staple of our community for over 50 years, and I'm sure you've brought your kids here. Today, I'm going to be working with lots of different animals. They have over 300 here at the zoo and over 100 unique species. They have a lot in store for me. I will be visiting PJ the Rhino, the giraffe area, and feeding some animals, but of course, they're going to make me clean. So let's get to work. Hi, good morning. It's so nice to meet you, Chris.
Good morning. Welcome to the zoo.
I'm so excited to be here.
My name is Christopher Torge, and I am the Director of Animal Operations here at the Central Florida Zoo and Botanical Gardens. We have a great morning plan for you today.
Okay.
First thing is that we're going to head over to the greater one-horn rhinoceros habitat and show you how we set up breakfast for PJ, our greater one-horn rhino.
Awesome.
Then we're going to take you to our giraffe habitat and show you all the unique ways that we feed our giraffe, because they eat so many things that are up so high. And then later on this morning, we're gonna show you how we prepare some diets for our ambassador animals.
Awesome. So tell me, what is your role here at the zoo?
Sure, I am the Director of Animal Operations, so I'm responsible for our collection of about 300 animals and the 30 people that take care of them.
So you're the most important person here.
Maybe.
I think PJ would say yes. Well, I'm excited. Let's do this.
Let's go. Welcome to our rhino barn. Behind us we have the rhino hay. This is where we store all of the hay for the rhino, and he will eat about 2 of those bales a day.
Wow.
About 250 pounds altogether. 20 pounds of that is rhinoceros grain, which we have right here. He gets 10 pounds every morning. So if you wouldn't mind helping us put 10 pounds in that bucket so we can bring it out to his habitat.
All right.
We spend a lot of time assessing the animal well-being of our entire animal collection, down from the smallest spider up to the biggest giraffe. That way we can evaluate their habitat, their diet, their social needs, and if there's any action items that we need to take place to improve well-being, we will do that. And you are welcome to scatter that anywhere on top of this pile of hay. We have coastal hay, alfalfa hay, and some barrels for him for enrichment, so that he's got to move all of those barrels to get to his food and to enjoy his breakfast.
So he likes to play with his food.
He likes to manipulate different types of objects, but normally he's going to come out here, get to his breakfast first, and then he'll play with his barrels.
The Central Florida Zoo has been a huge driver of tourism in Seminole County for 50 years. I've been coming to the zoo my whole life. I've brought my daughter here, and to partner with organizations like the zoo, it gives us the opportunity to showcase them and their stories in a different way and connect them with different organizations and businesses and leaders in the community that may not know the ways they can get involved.
We really appreciate our partnerships with the Seminole Chamber that allows us to fulfill our mission, our vision, and to share the story about what the Central Florida Zoo is. So welcome to the giraffe compound. You can see Gage, our Maasai giraffe right here, and we're gonna prepare his breakfast for this morning. So he eats mostly about 80 to 90% of the day. So right now he's eating some breakfast, but what we're gonna do is fill this up with browse for him and hang this up on the pulley. And this is a more naturalistic way for him to eat, because normally in Africa he would be eating from things that are way above him, using his 18-inch long tongue to get all of those leaves. So over here we have some Brazilian pepper. We're gonna put all of that in here and then have you hang it up on the pulley.
What is his favorite thing to snack on?
Any type of leaves. This is Brazilian pepper, which is invasive here in Florida, but nutritionally sound for the giraffe. So we're doing a great thing for the Florida environment, getting rid of this invasive species and also giving him a nutritious breakfast. That looks pretty good. We'll give this to the keeper staff. They'll put the lid on it, and then we'll walk over to the pulley and raise it up for Gage.
There's so much happening behind the scenes. It's great when you come here with your family and see your favorite animals, but behind the scenes, the zoo is working throughout the nation and even the world to protect the survival of different species.
Welcome to Zoo Lab. This is where we have all of our ambassador animals, and these are the animals that are utilized for all of our education programs. So sometimes these animals will go off property to classrooms to help educate the public about different animals, or if you sign up for summer camps or any program here at the zoo, you might meet Maggie, one of our magpie jays, or Meatball, our green iguana, depending on what program you sign up for.
You talked about all the different programs for students at schools and here, with the camps. How many students are part of one of these programs each year?
Sure, our education team does an amazing job, and they reach out to about over 44,000 people last year.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's incredible, yeah. It's really great that we have all of these resources here to educate everybody that comes to visit the Central Florida Zoo.
And I hear you do a lot of education on conservation too, and some special species. So can we see one of those?
We certainly can, and we might be talking about our eastern indigo snakes.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. So I'd love to go see one of them and hear a little bit about what you're doing there. So I've been told you guys have an amazing program in another location where this mainly happens, but tell us about the eastern indigo snakes and what you guys are doing.
The zoo's major contribution to conservation is the Orion Center for Indigo Conservation with the eastern indigo snakes, and one of our ambassador animals is an eastern indigo snake. His name is Teddy. Right now he's kind of taking a nap in his hide. He's going through a shed, which can be kind of stressful for him. So we have a little note on his enclosure that no one can take him out on any programs until that shed is done. But the eastern indigo snakes used to live in northern Florida Panhandle on the southeastern United States. And through habitat destruction, they've been pushed out of that habitat. And they're really important for the environment because they eat venomous snakes. And venomous snakes eat a lot of songbirds. So if you have more indigo snakes out there, you have less venomous snakes and you have more songbirds. So with our Orion Center for Indigo Conservation, we do what is called like a Head Start program, where we have the snakes there, we breed them, and then those offspring get released into habitats where they have been traditionally found. And what's great news is that we have found young snakes in those habitats now, which means the snakes that we have released have bred out there. So that's a huge success for that program. I'm also part of the confiscation network through the Florida Association of Zoos and Aquariums. There's a big problem of confiscated animals coming into the state of Florida, and that could be things as small as coral and fish, all the way up to birds and large primates. They come into our country in less than substandard conditions, usually with medical issues. And myself and other leaders here with the other zoos in Florida help those rescue efforts to make sure that those animals find permanent homes and get the health checks and everything that they need to thrive and survive. So this is one of our enclosures for our bearded dragons, one of our ambassador animals, and you have one of their salads right here. So we do partner with our veterinary team and with a nutritionist to come up with all of the ingredients for the best nutrition for all of our animals. So you can see right here, we've got some kale in there. Looks like we have some red pepper, even some sweet potatoes. So if you wouldn't mind helping us out, we would love it if you could help feed one of our bearded dragons.
All right, enjoy breakfast.
There we go. It is very expensive to keep animals and to keep a facility of this size running. Not only do we rely on our ticket sales to bring in our revenue, we rely on our special events, we rely on grants, and we have our development team that definitely fosters relationships with our donors. And then we also appreciate any sort of efforts to help volunteer here at the zoo. There's always work to be done, whether it's painting a building, putting down new mulch, or maybe even recovery efforts after a tropical storm or hurricane.
I think what I learned today is that just like Chamber staff who has a passion for our members and the community, the zoo staff and especially the keepers of these animals are just as passionate, and it just can translate across every industry. Learning more about what's going on, getting involved in different ways, that was really exciting. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of ChamberWORKS. Today, we had a blast at the Central Florida Zoo and Botanical Gardens. We interacted with different animals. We learned about all of the efforts it takes to keep them healthy. And we, most importantly, learned about the conservation efforts that the entire team takes here at the zoo. So I hope you join us again for another episode of ChamberWORKS. Thanks.